Hi there, today I'm just going to do a quick run through of how to clean or maintain a foil blade. Now, first thing I always check if I'm getting any sort of weird signals or before an event is that my handle's nice and tight and that the wire isn't trapped. So if you've got a transparent pad, then you can see, but if not, you're just pulling it down and you're just checking the wire isn't trapped, isn't being pulled, isn't taut. Allen key is an essential, and you really want to crank up the handle as tight as you can. It can't be too tight. The tighter it is, the less chance it's got of coming loose or undone. So once you've checked that, the next thing you're going to need is a point screwdriver. It's the most important part of kit for maintaining foils and épées. I think these ones are the best ones. They've got a slight sort of knurled edge here, which you can actually use to remove the insulation of the wires when you're mounting it, just by using it like a file. If you need to sharpen the point at all to get inside the thin point screws, you can just rub it a few times up and down on a file to get a very sharp point. Just be careful then that you don't stab yourself, which I have done. First thing then is to take off the tip tape when you're cleaning the tip. So you do this by peeling off the top tape. If it's really sort of frayed or smashed up, what you can do is use a knife and just sort of peel away the edges. Again, cut away from yourself. Be careful that you don't cut yourself. Place it in a vise. You can get bench mounted vices, or you can use there's a whole array of different clamps you can use, but it makes it much easier if you're working at it at your sort of eye level rather than sort of trying to work on something that's much lower. Another little tip, if you magnetize your screwdriver, the screws won't drop off and they're much easier to locate and stay on your tip. So once you've undone your tip, you've got two screws, one either side. Take the screws out. And inside you'll have a spring and your top. And where these get very dirty is just inside. The more that they press, you end up with a kind of capillary action, which basically sucks the dust into the tip, and so they can end up very dirty. Now, these cotton wool buds are ideal for cleaning tips and points. It's almost though they've been made for this purpose, even though they weren't. We use something called Ultra Clean, any kind of solvent spray. You just spray on the top to get the tip wet with the solvent, and then you just push it into the tip, give it a kind of a little spin. And if you haven't done it for a long time, you'll end up with lots of black on the end of your cotton. And all of that is basically dirt and grime that's going to affect the contact of the spring. Then you simply place your spring back in place, add back your tip, and then I usually will replace the screws if they're worn with brand new screws, just because that's part of the electrical connection in a Leon Paul tip. Thank you.